Today is February 24th, 2018. This is the Nosebleeds pod with Cole Pistolano. Hello, I'm your host. Cole Pistolano, obviously. As we start into this, we have breaking news coming in. And that is Blake Bortles signing to an extension, yes. The most elite QB in the league, Blake Bortles. He's got his contract extended. He got 3 years, $54 million. A pretty good amount of money. Of course, leading his team to the AFC Championship game this season. Again, the defense had a lot to do with it, but still, Blake Bortles is not an awful QB. Definitely, yeah, it's a fair enough contract. I mean, judging by the fact, they're definitely going to be a playoff team in years to come, especially with that defense, with that running game, and yes, they want Blake Bortles to be there for that run. Good for them. So, Blake Bortles is under contract until the 2020 season. So I'm reading through these comments on Instagram Live. If you're watching on YouTube after the fact, at Cole Pistolano on Instagram, live pod, a little bit pregame, a little bit postgame, you can be on the pod. You can get on the pod later. But let's get into some of the stuff that I had written down for yesterday, because I was about to do a pod yesterday, but I got lazy. Woo! So, starting off this previous week, we had All-Star Saturday night. NBA does the best All-Star weekend, obviously. They have better competitions. You have, I think it's more bigger name stars, too, because really, because you also have baseball, but what else do they have other than the home run derby and the game itself? What else do they have? They don't have that other events that show for other people with other skills, because in the NBA, right, you have the skills competition to show guys with, again, multiple skills. Then you have the three-point competition for those deep threat shooters. And then you have the dunk contest, which is that nice flashy, almost like I would compare that to the home run derby. And then afterwards you have the game itself. And the NHL, nobody in the U.S. cares about the NHL. Because with the NHL, nobody in the U.S. cares unless you're from the North, New England, the East Coast, all those places. Still, not a lot of people really care. And then you have the MLB All-Star Weekend, which you have the dunk contest and you have the game itself. There's not much other stuff to it. And then the NFL, the Pro Bowl. Players from the Super Bowl don't even go to the Pro Bowl. So then those are the two best teams in the league. And you have players from the two best teams in the league not going. Plus, nobody tries in the Pro Bowl, if you've noticed. There's no tackling. There's very little competition. But yeah, the NBA does the best. They have, for all the events, they have... And the All-Star game itself was... The All-Star game itself was actually kind of competitive. So, what's that? Let's talk about the dunk contest. The judges were on crack the entire time. Definitely. Dr. J, what are you smoking? NBA, what are you smoking in general? You only have two people there who have actually played professional basketball. And one of them is in the WNBA. Yeah, I've seen some pretty insane dunks in the WNBA. Yeah, you have... And then you have Mark Wahlberg, who is pretty white. I don't think he can dunk. I don't think he's ever dunked in his life, even on those, even as a child, one of those, super mini hoops. No, he hasn't dunked on that. So what? Yeah, he knows dunks. One of who else knows dunks is DJ Khaled. He is on a lot of crack. He was just disagreeing with everyone the entire time. You would have like 10s across the board, except for one person. Who's that one person? It's DJ Khaled. 8s across the board. One person has 9. Who's that 9? I guess it's DJ Khaled. Yeah, Donovan Mitchell winning the dunk contest. Much deserved. I liked his slams. Still think though the best dunk in the competition was still Larry Nance's double tap. But still Donovan Mitchell had some nice dunks. He did the Carter impression. He dunked over Kevin Hart, which that's probably not that hard to do. All right. Moving on, the 3-point contest, Devin Booker. Whoa. Setting a record, most points in this current 3-point contest format. Good for him. Only bright spot of the Suns this season, let's be real. Because you look at the Suns, what are they? They're trash. Utter trash. The Suns, at the All-Star break, 18 and 41, last in the West, last in the NBA. Devin Booker averaging 24 points, he is 12th in the league in points. Of course, is entering into the break. 24, 4, and 5. The Suns overall as a team, 104, where they're 19th in the league. 44, where they're 13th in the league. And 21, where they're 27th in the league. 21 assists, one of the worst teams in the NBA in terms of assists. Just can't dish out the ball. Probably because they just have Devin Booker taking it up all on the court and just bringing it up himself and doing everything himself. Skills competition, Joel Embiid. What are you doing? You are also on crack. He forgets to take the tag off his shorts, so he's running around with a Nike tag on the back of him, on his shorts or his jersey or something. And then he's trying to cheat too. He throws the ball, doesn't go, it was the passing one, doesn't go through the hoop. He's like, nah, fuck it, I'm gonna go myself. Joel, stop. Great character. It's awful execution from Joel Embiid. Talk about the game itself. LeBron, MVP. Pretty good for him. He led his team back from a major comeback. He had 29, 10, and 8 games-winning score. But that's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about Jimmy Butler. This will even bring into another tangent that happened last night. Jimmy Butler, resting. I have a lot of games left to play. One, looking back in hindsight, that's fucking hilarious. Yeah, you got a lot of games left to play, buddy. I'm pretty sure he's just partying all night. To be real. I mean, you're in LA, what else are you gonna do? I mean, but then last night, I'm pretty sure, tore his ACL? Something like that. A meniscus injury. No timetable for return. He's done for the season. I saw the injury. He's done for the season. Without a doubt. I thought it was a torn ACL. Everyone thought it was a torn ACL. But, I guess it's not. Look with the new look Cavs. Entering the All-Star break 3-0. Woo! Woo! I liked what I saw. I mean, they looked like a whole new team. They just looked like a whole new team. I mean, they did lose against the Wizards, who probably the most inconsistent team in the league. You have no John Wall, but you can beat the Cavs. But then you play the Hawks with John Wall, and you take an L? Really? Wizards, get your shit together. Just get your shit together, Washington. Moving on to the National Football League. How do I join? You just gotta wait till the end. The National Football League. I had something written here about Adam Vinatieri, but let's skip that for now. He's talking about Marcus Peters getting shipped off to Los Angeles. Good for him. He's on a better team. I mean, the Rams are a way better team than the Chiefs. I mean, you compare the two teams. The Chiefs both teams losing in the wild card round at home. That doesn't help, but still, the Rams, I believe, will get further than the Chiefs next year. I don't think the Chiefs are going to make the playoffs next year, honestly. I got the Chargers coming out of the West next year, but we'll save that for an NFL preview. In that West, there's like a whole lot of draft picks. The Chiefs just completely retooling their roster. I mean, they just traded away Alex Smith and now Marcus Peters. In my opinion, they're two best players. Of course, you still have Travis Kelce, Ty Hill, Eric Berry. But still, two of your best players, your QB, who is the most important position on the field, and your defensive leader, both getting shipped off. This is not looking good for Kansas City. I predict a full fire sale this offseason. Multiple picks in the trade. To move on, talk about Adam Vinatieri. He's 58 points away from being the league's leading scorer of all time. Good for him. He just got a new contract for a year. I believe that's 19 field goals? 20 field goals away. That's close. 20 field goals away from being the NFL's leading scorer of all time, behind Morton Anderson. He is currently at 2,544 points. That's a lot of points. He's been in the league for a bit. Certainly has been in the league for a bit. Talk about college basketball. Trae Young. I mean, I never saw hype in him, honestly. He's kind of fallen off. I think that it's just that teams are finding his weaknesses. They're watching tape. That's simple. Also, bigger news coming today. Shareef O'Neal decommitting from Arizona. I like that as a USC fan. But now, Shareef O'Neal no longer going to Arizona. Going somewhere else. Who knows where? He could decommit from wherever he's going next to. I wouldn't be surprised. Alright, now in the fan section. The podcast is called Nosebleeds because we are up here in the nosebleeds of the stadium, far from the action. What's in every good stadium? It's a fan section, right? Earlier this week I asked on Instagram at Cole Pestilano, where are you watching now if you're on IG Live? I asked if the NBA should keep the 1 through 8 system they have now, or go through 1 to 16. Majority of people said 1 through 16. I forget what. If you're watching on YouTube, I'll probably put it on the screen right now. But still, majority of people saying 1 through 8. They should keep that. In my opinion, I like that in terms of teams and traveling, because you don't want teams traveling across the country during the playoffs. It's supposed to be the best basketball you get, but you don't really get that if a team's trying to go from Boston to Portland every single week. And it's going back and forth. Keep it East and West till the finals, where you have that nice rest. I don't want the NBA season to just drag out for any longer than it already is. Already mid-June is mid-June is already a good spot to end. I don't think you need to extend that more, because in the playoffs you have teams from the East playing teams from the West, like, again, Boston and Portland. You don't want teams, again, traveling from Boston to Portland night after night, and then adding on those even longer rest times. Alright, guys, that's it for this week. Joining next week on IG Live at Cole Pestilano. Maybe you can be on the pod. We didn't have that much luck trying to get people on the pod this week, but you could be on the pod. Guys, follow on Twitter at nosebleeds_pod. Or just use the hashtag the nosebleedspod, Twitter, Instagram. That's it for the show. Tune in next week.